Welcome back to another set of Down and Back with CornDoug. This week, fantastic show for you. I got an interview that I recorded a couple weeks ago. This guy was supposed to be on the show a long time ago after his first open win. Now he gets a national win. I talked to him just after that. So Steve Bernacet will be on the show. I got to talk to him about a bunch of stuff. Just a great talk with him, getting into a bunch of little stuff you might not have heard elsewhere, but still, it's just a fun show of just getting to know the man behind the bags, I guess you can say. But yeah, and you know, getting through the stuff first here, go to check out the sponsors. As always, Octane Cornhole. Matt does some great stuff. Customer service, 100%. Great guy. OctaneCornhole.com. Use discount code CornDoug for 10% off. And then when you're done there, as always, head over to myearfund.com and get yourself 20% off by using discount code CornDoug to get all your earbuds, your Bluetooth speakers, and everything else. And then the man, Jamie Cowan at JC Cornhole. Check him out on Facebook or jccornhole.com and get yourself a set of boards. He does fantastic work, tournament quality boards. Again, customer service. He'll do what you want on boards. I've seen him do some amazing stuff. He's getting people asking for boards from all over the place. Texas, New Jersey, out of the states up here looking for his boards. Great stuff that he does. So check him out on Facebook and jccornhole.com. And a new partner has come onto the show here. Going to be great to be able to deal with him out of the West. So once we get going with tournaments and stuff in the West, I can go over to Western Canada, see him in Sherwood Park, Alberta. Check out Darren at Ciara Property Inspections. Darren does a great job. He's a great guy and will give you the professional stuff you need to know when purchasing a home. So check out on Facebook and his website. It's Ciara. I'll do a post on the Facebook page, on my Facebook page about that. But it's Ciara, CIARA Property Inspections. Check Darren out. If you're anyone in Sherwood Park, Alberta area, needs stuff done, check him out. Darren is a first-class individual and will give you what you need. So on the cornhole stuff. Bag Brawl this weekend. Another ACL national event in Vegas. ACL back to Vegas. I was going to do a show, just kind of my picks, but who wants to hear my picks? Because you know who I'm going to pick. Emfer and Hasib. Who else? But, in all reality, Emfer is Mike Ferreira has just been lights out in the singles department. He's really kind of, he's playing with that chip on his shoulder. He's still, I feel he's still not getting the respect that he deserves as a single player. I know Trey has talked to him about being the I don't know if it was the comeback player or the breakout player, but just his move from the Northeast down to Florida has really elevated his game. He's now playing against top. Not that he wasn't playing against top level competition before, but now in Florida, you've got so many down there that are just unbelievable. So again, I want to say the heart goes with Emfer and Hasib as they are great friends of the show, great friends of me outside the show as well too. But going with them. Another one is, and I know Trey talked about them on the show back a couple times ago when he was on. But I gotta like Kamba and Baldwin going into this national because, as Trey said, Baldwin usually starts rolling around this time. He's had a couple nationals, a national win with Jordan in doubles, kind of rolling. And at the Mid-Atlantic conference this past weekend, Jordan and him got the doubles win. James come up with the singles win as well. So I think that ball is starting to roll. And if anyone's seen on Facebook, an early congratulations to them. But James and Allison, while in Vegas, getting married. So they're going to tie that knot to be a real cornhole team, so to speak. But yeah, congratulations to them on that. But yeah, I got a feeling that Baldwin and Kemba, I think, may come on top. For this one, you're getting their second national win. They're just Baldwin is just James has always been one of my favorite players to watch. So yeah, so I will be watching for that this weekend. And then as always, you've got the other usual suspects. Looks like Cody and Adam are starting to hit their stride as well. Graham and Matt Guy have always been there. But there's other people with the hard chargers coming on. So we'll have to see what Vegas brings. Unfortunately, one player has had to back out. You've probably already seen that. Tyler Poitras, another friend of the show, guy I've been able to talk to as well, had an ear issue on his way to the last national, and yeah, and it's still bothering him. So, on doctor's advice, he's not making the plane trip to Vegas for this year. So I'm not sure who Frank will be playing with in the doubles, but yeah, so. Interesting weekend of cornhole coming up. Will Bernacet and Gustafson be able to keep going? Will Bernacet be able to keep the role he's on going? Because he then because this past weekend he took it all down in the Great Lakes. It's just, these top players are starting to hit that stride, and yeah, so it's going to be fun to watch, fun to see, just kind of what happens, because we're going to start coming into the summer tournaments now. And these big guys are going to start hitting their stride with what they want to do. You have to start seeing who. It's not an open this weekend, but the open's coming up in Erie, which non-pros are going to start hitting their stride for the pro qualifier in Rock Hill. We know one guy. You guys watched the crap out of that show last week with Jacob Trzynski out of the Northeast. He took down. He lost in the finals with the Tornado in doubles. Double dipped again. He got the double dip in the final. He got the win in a great match against one of the Baker boys out of the Northeast. So he's one that's, they're all calling him the Ginger Assassin this year. He's the double dipper, I've got to say, because of my 2 wins I've seen of him actual live. He's been double dipping people. So you got to give him credit for that there, because he works his ass off. And if you go and look some of those videos that Chris has put up of him, that rollback that he has just the flop shot, unbelievable. He's just a great guy. So without further ado, another guy throwing a great bag. Here was my talk with the first ACL Open champ and then the national champ from Wichita. Here's Mr. Steven Bernacet. And here, as promised, we have Mr. Steven Bernacet, who's been like the name in the ACL here lately. Steven, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, this is not the first time that we were going to talk, because the gremlins at the Octane Garage took us out the first time after that first open. We were going to have you on, and then the power went out and everything. Everything went to hell. So, but then with that going to hell, your career kind of skyrocketed in the pro division.
I appreciate that. I was looking forward to it the first time too, and then, like you said, you had some issues, but hey, we're here now, so it's gonna be fun.
Exactly, yeah. So let's kind of rewind to that there, because we were kind of talking a bit off air here as well too. Just the opens, and that was a new concept coming in, where it was you're playing in to see which level you're going to go into with the rounders, and then I think that was a shock for some people, because some of the pros weren't in the top division, and there was some non-pros that made it into the level 1, I guess it is. and it was just kind of like that new format. But I really enjoy it because it gets to see. I don't want to say the everyday player, but the everyday player in up against the pros.
Absolutely. I actually loved them. To Once they got announced, I wasn't the biggest fan of how the rounders was doubles and that counted as singles. But after doing it and seeing how it's played out this season, I love it. I love it. It's a whole nother dynamic of pressure because I mean, not only are you relying on your partner to get you into doubles in tier one, I mean you're relying on them now to get you into singles. So it's a whole new, I don't know, way to do things. But no, I like it. And seeing non-pros get through and win a couple is awesome.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like you were able to take down that first one, and I know going into it, I heard a lot, and I've got no idea why, but we're still hearing a lot of it saying, "Oh, it's just for the pros." But you went in as a rookie pro, and then you take down the final, beating Jay Rubin, who's not a weak link by any means.
Absolutely not.
So oh, go ahead.
It was yeah, that match was fun. That open match against Jay, it was definitely, two hometown boys, friends. A lot of our friends, mutual friends, were there. So I mean, yeah, that match meant a lot.
Yeah, and we'll kind of get into it a little more because I'm going to say you guys may have like a little bit of a rivalry going. If you didn't have one before, there might be a little one coming now. But yeah, because you did that, and then you went like, hold my beer. We're going to do it again. Oh, we're going to beat Dennis and Hayden in a final for doubles.
Yeah, the doubles one was extremely fun. Especially to get the first one with Tommy. I mean, me and Tommy didn't throw that much together going into that, so like being able to pull that one off. No, that was definitely fun.
So yeah, so kind of going back and into it with the way we talk about like the new players, because like I said, you did kind of spark that thing where you're the new pro coming in. People are still talking about it's just for the pros, but then I still call him that rookie pro Matt Guy, that new player to the game coming in as a rookie gets one. But then after that, the next two after this year now have been Alex Rawls in Florida, taking down that final in Florida being a non-pro, and then Berkeley taking down the one in Virginia being another non-pro, and they're all playing pros in the final. So I think that just shows the kind of quality of cornhole players that are out there.
Absolutely, the what's sort I'm looking for. The talent of players coming is it's unbelievable, but it's also just awesome for the sport of cornhole. I mean, it's the only way you get better is playing people who are better than you or at your the same level as you. So I mean, it's awesome seeing all these new names. I never even heard of that Berkeley before this weekend, but man, he can throw.
Oh yeah, I think I'd seen him play in a couple of the small tournaments in Carolina where where he partnered up with Frank Maudlin a couple times, I believe, right? But it's still that new player coming in, and you know for the ACL, is there not a better way for them to get out there? The anyone can play, anyone can win motto than the way that these opens have kind of happened.
Oh, absolutely not. You wouldn't believe how many messages I got after winning the national, just saying it's good to see a new face on top. So yeah, seeing new faces, non-pros, whatever it might be, winning opens. No, it's absolutely awesome. I love it.
Well, I think we can kind of credit the women of cornhole for starting that off last year at the ACL finals, where they went and a whole bunch of new faces came into there, and kind of took over. And
Mhm.
now we're seeing it the rest of the league as well too, right? Because we got new guys winning nationals. Like you look at the seniors. I talked with Bill Hadley, and so you look at the last couple seniors tournaments. It's been Hasib Habibon taking down the national seniors title and an open seniors. Bill getting the seniors in Wichita, and then Alan Rockwell taking down the seniors in Virginia. Not that he's not a good player, because he did take the singles in Florida, but Damon Dennis kind of had that domination of the seniors division.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. When you thought seniors, it was Damon. I mean, that was his tier. He was the champ, and you had to go take him down. But I mean, it's a great testament to just these guys that are they're still working. I mean, they're still practicing. I mean, you got to, because Damon Dennis he's not going to get worse. He's only going to stay at where he is, maybe even get better if that's possible. So you just got to keep working, keep battling, because some really good people.
Yeah. So then that leads us then to the last nationals there in Wichita. It kind of it seemed like, from me watching, it's like, for you it was like, okay, we've got this hurdle. Okay, now you got this. You got to get this mountain. Now this next higher mountain with Rubin to Henderson to Birchfield. It's like, I don't think you can ever get a break in any type of game, but you didn't have a break in any type of game once it got going.
No, definitely. Once I got into the meat of that bracket, it was no easy games. But I don't want that, nor do I expect that. Not at this level. I know everyone there wants to win. Everyone there is top tier player, and anyone can be beat at any time. So, but yeah, it definitely felt like every game I had to get better, because I would have lost if I didn't.
Well, and that going in, and we talked a bit off before as well too, off air, that the different styles of play, because you got Jay Rubin, who you now know, because like I said, there could be that little bit of a rivalry might happen with you guys, and I think that'd be awesome. But like on the national stage, but then you go from Jay Rubin to Cody Henderson, who was not happy, right? Like he thought he was going to win, because like I said, I talked with Scott Sullivan, who played against him on ESPN before at a world event, and nothing from Cody. Cody knew they were going to win. Everyone knew that Cody Henderson, Adam Hisner were going to beat our Canadian guys that were there. So Cody was kind of silent and not said much, but when he starts to lose and he thinks he should be winning, he gets kind of vocal. So how do you, that mentality to just shut that out, not even kind of let that get into your concentration?
Yeah, so I know how Cody plays, and I respect it. That's how he plays. He's perfected it. But my play style, I'm just out there in my own world, especially with my AirPods. Like I honestly, I can't hear anything he's saying. The only time I ever hear him or someone was when a song changed, and if he was talking at that 2-5 second time frame, yeah, then I'd hear it. But no, it's just with me, it's being able to keep my mind clear, staying calm. And I'm just in my own world, listening to my music, just throwing bag after bag in the hole.
Yeah, because then you go from Cody Henderson talking to, I don't know, does Trey Birchfield even actually say a word during a day while he's at a tournament? Right?
Yeah, it might be you count them on one hand, but no, he did not. We didn't speak at all during that finals match, and not because we don't like each other. It's just we didn't talk.
Well, I think even Trey and Bernie on the broadcast were like, is he actually awake? Because it looked like he was sleeping and he put his head down, not watching. It's like, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah, I just think he was. When the start I got off to, he fell behind a little bit. I was thinking he was like, I just don't know what to do here. He might not miss.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Like that robot thing is that's the thing where I've talked with people, and maybe I'd like to get your interpretation of this here. Is I've seen some people up here recently that when they're playing either like a ghost game or whatever, we're just talking that they'd rather, you've got to go for that big airmail to get a lot of points. When you've given up some, right? You got to get that control back. Or is it that I find that sometimes I like just put the bag on the board. Maybe you just get the wash, kind of stop the bleeding a bit, kind of be able to take that breath without giving up points, and then start over again.
Yeah, especially at these nationals. I mean, every point is so crucial. Like, I'm a really, really aggressive player, but I mean, there were a lot of shots, and I mean, it's testament to my bads too. But there's a lot of shots that I could have won airmail, and I just didn't because I mean, the risk reward of going airmail, not going airmail. If I'm hanging and I can just put it in, throw a 10, they get a 12, they get 2. A lot better in my head than going for an airmail, missing, giving up 5. So, yeah, I definitely play a little more conservative at the Nationals than I usually do.
Well, and I think that might be the way for a lot of people, is that you go to a league night or whatever, I'm gonna throw all those crazy shots, because league night is for me at least, and for some of our other guys, league night's fun. When we get to a regional or a national, it's go time, and I've got to then play, actually use my head to play and not just throw whatever. But that's that kind of the balance you kind of have to have when you're at a top level, and you go down to your regular league night.
Absolutely, yeah. League just about having fun. You make a ridiculous shot, you show off, make people smile, laugh. Meet new players, help new players work on some things. But yeah, nationals, it's a whole different level of intensity.
And then talking about league night and having fun, your first night back at the Man Cave Monday, I got to watch that online, and how fun was that to have that whole room just stop as you came in?
Oh, that's definitely a moment I'll never forget. Come home, and again, like I said before, just seeing all my friends and family at my local spot, and being able to bring the championship back for them guys, because it's not just for me; it's for all my local baggers that support me, that see me working. When the blind draw is done, I'm over there just throwing. Like that championship's for everybody, not just me.
Exactly, yeah, and that's always the fun thing, because there's some other people that probably helped you along the way getting up there, either just a talk here, talk there, a tip here, tip there, and or just that pat on the back as you're going there to say, what, you can do it, because there's times where cornhole is such a mental game where it's just that one wrong little thought and you're done.
Absolutely. I mean, you couldn't have said that any better. If I were to think of all the people that have helped me from where I started to where I am now, it's true like that. Just taking bits and pieces from different people and just picking different people's brains. It's unbelievable how much information I've absorbed over 5 years of playing.
Yeah, and then so take another little step back, because I see you got the ultra hat on. That really, I kind of watched that whole kind of thing come on, because once you got that open championship, then you got the big jersey, and you're kind of you were more ultras now. It's like a Steven Bernacet is ultra.
I mean, I'm not going to go that far, but I just appreciate having the support of Mark Ryer and the Ultra Cornhole behind me, because, I mean, with his bags in my hands, I mean, it really feels unfair on how the boards play. It really feels unfair out there.
Well, see, and that's the other thing is I've always talked about that thing, because I'm an Octane guy. I love my Octane stuff, but just because I like it doesn't mean everyone else has to use it. And it's just there's a bag out there for each player, right? I think that's what a lot of people don't see sometimes. They just see, oh, Steven Bernacet, he just won the national with that bag. I have to use those bags, and but it's just a lot of people, and I almost attribute to, you got to be Goldilocks. You got to try every bag, every little series of each bag, but it's just find the one for you.
Yeah, that's what I tell all my local players too that ask me, well, what badge should I use? Well, I say the same thing you just did. Like, obviously, yeah, I throw cycles, I throw fast beds, but you don't throw as high as I do. You don't have the touch. You don't throw the same spin. You have none of that. Obviously, yes. Does Ultra have a bag where I think everyone could throw? Absolutely. But I know I do love it when I see these guys that are wanting to pay ridiculous amounts for cycles. But in my head, I'm just like, man, I really hope you could throw the bag because the bag's not for everybody.
Well, and yeah, and like you say, you throw that faster bag because some people will want to go and throw a faster bag, but they won't change up their style of throw. Like I kind of seen it with some other guys up here. They got some of the faster octane stuff, or they've got like game changers or any of the other faster bags, and they're still throwing like a line drive low throw, and you're like, and they're upset that they're upset that they're throwing off the back of the board, and it's like, yeah, you're gonna throw off the back of the board because you got, you need that loft to be able to set it down. Like I did a quick little video of some of like the guys up here that had me practicing. I've now know that I have to throw over 7.5 feet in my arc to make my bag stick on the board, right? So it's that whole small little nuances of the game that make it fun for me.
Absolutely, yeah. And the word loft, I couldn't tell you how many times I've said that to people when I'll hand them my bads or hand them fast bads. I'm like, you got to throw it higher. Like you cannot throw it the same way because if you don't hit the hole, it's gone.
Yeah, and that's just the thing, and that makes the game fun because you got different bag for different throw and a different room temperature and different the way the boards are. It just, for a simple game, it's way too complicated at times.
All right, yeah. So just throwing a bag 27 feet away, we really complicate it.
but like I said, that's what makes it fun. That's what it's that game of chess. Like I got from Timothy Pitcher, and I say it all the time. It's, are you playing checkers or are you playing chess? Because chess is so much more fun at times.
Yeah, I mean, it can be. It can be so mental. It can be so draining, so taxing. It's just, but like you said, that's what makes it fun.
Yeah. So another thing, and I know if I'm going to ask if it helps with your concentration on the boards, is I know you're a gamer, right? So does that kind of help with you're able to focus in and kind of just concentrate on the board and what you have to do?
I think so. When I was really heavy into competitive gaming, like online tournaments or LAN tournaments would go for all day, and you'd have to, concentrate, focus 1,000% all day, doing the same thing over and over and over again. Well, what's that sound like? I mean, that is cornhole.
Well, yeah.
So, I think it does. It helps me with, especially at nationals. It really helps me because the nationals are really long days, and I'm a big boy. So, if I start making a run, I really got to focus hard on my mind because my body will get tired. So, yeah, I think gaming definitely helps me on the mental side of cornhole.
Especially, kind of thing as well too, because gaming, you got all the other stuff that's going on in the game, kind of in your peripheral in the game. A cornhole tournament, you got like people walking by, trying to walk through, and that's that whole other peripheral that you have to shut out.
It's actually funny. I've had a couple people ask me. They're like, "Man, when people are walking around you or walking next to you, it never seems to bother you. Well, why is that?" And I just tell them, I say, because I'm not looking at anything else but that board. Like I don't see it. I'm looking at where I'm aiming, and that is it.
So the other interesting thing you brought up there, and it kind of got me thinking again here, because I've talked to some other pros about this, is that a lot of the new players don't know what it takes at a national event to go there at 8 a.m. and you're there till midnight throwing, and the games will go to midnight, but then you've got the extra stuff after midnight that goes on at a national tournament. Then you're back up doing it again the next morning, and it's the same routine. Just the stamina that it takes. So did you any other sports that have kind of maybe helped you out with, kind of the more mental side again, and the stamina for keeping on?
Definitely. It would fall back to football days, like 2 days, 3 days, just long, grueling days. In consecutive days. That's what it really. Waking up at 7 every morning and having to go throw. It doesn't sound hard, but it's in Florida. I felt it. I really that blind draw. My body was like, wow. These 2 days. No, it definitely takes a toll on you for sure.
Well, yeah, because I first felt that back down in Cherokee in 2018 when I was at an ACL final, where we get down there the Thursday night. Oh, the ballroom's open to throw. We go throw till like 2 a.m. Then you're back up, and then 4 or 5 days of that, and you're just like, my God, I'm done, right? And then we had a tournament up here where we had a regional and actually, sorry, no, it was a local and a regional back to back on the same day, and so we had people playing from noon until 8, and they were like, "Oh my God, this is so long," and I'm like, "This is." I wish all tournaments were like noon to 8. It would be so much fun.
It is fun. Usually with me too. I'm usually not a after hours partaker at nationals. I just means too much to me. I've worked too hard to go out and because it's tough. You go out and explore the city, and then try to get up the next morning and play singles. You can't tell me with a straight face you're going to play 100%.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. Was there any other pro that you went at an event that kind of maybe took you aside and kind of just you were able to pick your brain, pick his brain or their brain about being a pro, playing cornhole? Because I know I had that with Timothy Pitcher. I've said this on the show many times, but I sat down with him for about 45 minutes at that first national. I didn't know him from anybody. Well, that's what I know. I knew him. He didn't know me, but just able to talk cornhole and just get info from.
Yeah, so definitely two guys for me. The first one's definitely going to be Ryan Windsor. Me and him have become really good friends. I stayed at his house for a week before the national. I've learned so much from him. Just like you said, picking his brain, seeing like what he's thinking when he's doing this. That stuff's more valuable to me than just going into his garage and throwing against him. And then Philip Hayden. I've struck up a relationship with him. I always talked to him at the nationals. I was actually sitting next to him through the whole matches when Damon won in Florida. So, yeah, I've always chatted with him. I always talk cornhole with him, and I always listen when Philip's talking about cornhole because that man is filled with knowledge.
Yeah, and that is the great thing, because we've had a couple of pros come up here and play with us, and everyone's always shy about going to talk with them or whatever. But there's so many pros, and I know you probably get it now from people that see you playing. Is that go up and talk to the pro, because they are more than happy to talk cornhole with you and maybe to give you a little bit of tips or maybe kind of to kind of help you along.
Yeah, I felt that same way when I first got into it and I first saw my first pros. It's like, I'm not going to talk to them. They don't want to talk to me. But once I've, gotten better in the game and then, ended up where I am now, when people say that to me, because they do, I go, that's completely false. Like, the only time I'm not going to talk to you or don't want to be talked to or don't care who you are is if I'm playing you. Any other time, if I'm at a national or if I'm warming up, I love when people come up and just talk to me, just ask me questions. I think it's the coolest thing in the world.
Oh, I think that was always my favorite thing. I always look back at my time in 2018, because there were so many players there that just, that even as us being the only 6 Team Canada that went down at the conference and got our butts absolutely destroyed. But there's so many people that come up and talk, oh, you're the Canadian guys. And it's that special feeling that cornhole players have, that camaraderie that people, I don't think they really get. Even though you're at a national with a big event, you've still kind of got that backyard feel a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. When I get to nationals, it's a little relaxed, get seeing everybody, but it definitely gets that intensity real quick. Everyone's there to win.
It's like that family reunion, but you just want to destroy that other family member that you haven't seen in a while.
That is absolutely correct.
And then, I want to thank you for doing this here, but in one last thing, actually, no, we'll go do two last things, because with the earphone sponsorship I have with the show, what are you listening to when you play? So you got the earbuds. Question of the week is, what are you listening to when you're playing?
So the only music I listen to is EDM, electronic dance music. So okay, I am just raving in my head, throwing some bags.
So I guess now I know that with Timothy Pitcher, I can't be playing Eminem. I got to be playing something else around him. With you, I got to be doing like country or some other kind of classical music to
throw that in there,
to throw you off. And yeah, so now I know what I got to do, right? Just to take you out and actually have a shot at maybe getting a point. But well, yeah. And the last thing is I know you're a Bears fan, and I have some friends here. I don't follow the NFL that much, but I got some friends here that are, well, some of my son's friends that are, their fathers are Bears fans. I got to hear about it every week when we're at hockey. So how much has that open win and the national win taken the sting out of a Bears season?
Nothing, because we signed Andy Dalton. So any sting that I've tried to take away, they just brought it back by signing him. So, and then my Cubbies, because I'm a huge Cubby fan, it's not looking the best there. So yeah, I'm not really too excited about sports right now. So I'm just gonna keep throwing, trying to keep winning cornhole.
You'll be the shining star of the Bears and the Cubs fans. How about that?
I'm okay with that.
Okay, you know what? I want to thank you for doing this here. Good luck at the next national here. Because I know you're going to be up near the top, because you are one of the hottest throwers around, and it's nice to see, like I said, with some new faces in there and just great people as well. So it's I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we can all get vaccinated up here and be able to cross the border at some point, and I'll be able to see you at a big tournament.
Thank you, and I appreciate you coming on. I was glad I was finally able to come on and do this. And yeah, I hope COVID settles down up there and we can all play some cornhole soon.
Exactly. Yeah. So thanks again for doing this.
Absolutely.
And there you have it, Mr. Stephen Bernacet. Just a great guy to talk to. Got to find some more stuff out about him. Just again, you talk to so many ACL pros that have a sports background, and he had, he's, that, like he's talked about, that, the long days of playing is like the 2 days with football, right? He can go back in that mindset to be able to say, okay, yeah, I did it then, I can do it now. Talking his throw, as he said, I wouldn't think, oh, I can step up and I can play with the Bernacet bags, but you gotta be able to throw like him to be able to play like him. That loft, and it's something I had to learn. The loft is something I had to learn. Is, you're playing with faster bags. That's where the kinetics, or the nitro bags for octane, and I really need to get that loft, get that bag 6. Actually, no, not 6. I got to get it like 8 and 9 feet in the air to get the height, get to land where I want. Then let the bag do the work. It's not all your arm. You got to let the bag do the work. I've said that a bunch of times. So yeah, with that, you learn about his gaming. You learned about that, what music to play when he's not wearing his earbuds, that can get him off his game. You know which music to not play while he's playing to keep him, so he doesn't get on his game. But yeah, so with that, I know he's going to be back on the show again. I had a fun time talking with him, and I want to try and get him back. So, a couple shows coming up here the next few weeks. I've already got them. They're all booked. Hopefully, everyone's able to come on and talk stuff. Next week is another fun show. Got a returning guest next week from one of the live shows that we did. He's going to come back and talk again. I won't do that there. Look for I will talk about it, the Facebook show. It's a new Facebook show. Started yesterday. Thursday nights, 8 p.m. We'll do a 15-minute live. You can ask me whatever. I'll talk about the upcoming show, what's going on around here. Nothing. But whatever. Check it out. Facebook, Down and Back Facebook page, live with CornDoug for 15 minutes. And if that's not enough live for you, I get told time and time again, you don't talk about it on your show, and I'm going to do it now. If you're a cornhole player and you like NASCAR and you like having fun talking about NASCAR, check out NAS Canucks on YouTube. Tuesday nights, that's 8 o'clock as well, too. 8 o'clock, Tuesday nights on YouTube. My cousin Ben and I, we give our thoughts and on what's happened on the weekend with NASCAR, what's going on in NASCAR on the weekends or through the week. We give our experiences, some stuff that you got to hear. But anyway, you can check us out live or even check out any old shows. Other than that, you got to be watching the Bag Brawl this weekend. You can watch Mr. Stephen Bernacet, as I hit the mic, hit Mr. Stephen Bernacet playing there. This is off the top. There's so many players that are pro players now that are hitting their stride that I think some of those ones that have really been excelling, they got to watch their back because those other guys are coming up. They're getting hotter. They're going for it. So, yeah. Until next week, talking about watching your back. Watch out for those players throwing gas because they might just kick your ass.